Welcome, beautiful souls. Today, I would like to share with you some information about the Pisces sign because the sun 2 days ago, on February 18th, the sun entered the sign of Pisces, and it will encounter many interesting galactic energies that can influence a lot to us and that can wash over us and help us to change, to create a deep change within our hearts, our minds, our entire being. That's why I'd like to share this information with you all. So let's begin. Here we have the chart, the astrology chart of the 18th February, when the sun just entered the sign of Pisces. And here we have Pegasus Constellation, because the first star that the sun encountered is the star Enif, that represents the muzzle of the Pegasus, but then will be other stars. So, as I said, the sun entered the sign of Pisces on February 18th, and from the 18th to 22nd of February, the sun is conjunct the red giant star Enif, that is placed in the muzzle of the house, the horse, excuse me. Enif essence is mainly masculine because it opens us to live the lessons we have to learn in order to value more our lives, our body, and our entire being, in particular through accidents, physical, emotional, mental. For example, when we encounter people and have some kind of discussion that leave us with fear, guilt, frustration, so many different thoughts or confusion, for example, but also can be some temporary illnesses, because this star is one of the few that are considered malefic. Because of that, it's not about the energy of the star being malefic, of course not, but because it opens us, or it pushes us to live, to encounter or live within us what is better for us, in order to learn lessons, and in this way value our entire being more and more. Then the 20th February, the sun is conjunct a black hole. So, and well, along the Pisces sign, there are many black holes and also pulsars. I only will name few of them. So, for example, the 20th of February, the sun is conjunct a black hole. The black hole is in the elliptical galaxy NGC 7052 in the constellation of Vulpecula. This black hole gives us a paradox, that is, collide only with those things of like energy. Merge your soul energy into the sameness of your physical being. But maybe to do that, first we have to unblock and liberate that which not serve us anymore, giving way to a temporary dysfunction, illness like a flu, cold, or a nerve tendon or muscle inflammation, for example. And this energy is related to the star Enif in reality. So what they said is, Enif unblocks something within us, or maybe it prompts us to an accident as a way to value more our being and our bodies. But in this way also is a way to unblock and liberate something that not serve us anymore, some energy, some information, thought patterns, for example. And in this way, once we liberate those thought patterns, memories, for example, emotions, we give way, we open ourselves to receive more our higher self and anchor it in the here and now into every cell of our body. Then later, as we continue following the sun in its movement across the Pisces sign, it encounters on March 6 another black hole. In this case, is Cygnus X2 because it's a X-ray black hole whose paradox is time is meaningless, while at the same time we live in a linear expression of it. And at the same time, together with this black hole, also there's a pulsar, this one. The name of the pulsar is this one. So in this case, we receive for one hand the energy of the black hole that reminds us that time is meaningless, or in another words, that is important to transcend the 3D linear time as a way to experiment more and more the eternal present, the here and now, and in this way be more and more present to ourselves, to the entire life. But at the same time, there's the pulsar. That it means that as we practice to be more present, especially on March 6, if we live in the northern hemisphere, it's better to meditate with intention to be only present in silence, present, the here and now, during the morning. While in the southern hemisphere, it's better to do that in the evening. And while we are practicing our presence, we can receive much easier messages from the cosmos or from our higher self because of the pulsar. This is a picture from the Hubble Space Telescope of this black hole, that I explained to you. Then later, we continue later on March 13th, the sun will conjunct another black hole. In this case, the NGC 300X1. That is a spiral galaxy, is from a spiral galaxy in the Sculptor cluster of galaxies. This black hole is the most distant yet detected because it's around 6 million light years from Earth, and whose paradox is we cannot navigate, our life cannot be navigated with eyes closed. Meditate with open eyes only, as a way to be conscious, to be present, to be with an open mind of what happens around us. but also it is conjunct another pulsar. In this case, is this one, the pulsar Rx, well, all of these numbers that also sends us messages from the cosmos if we are ready to listen to them and receive them from our hearts. So imagine all the energies that we will encounter along this Pisces month. Later, not later, at the same time that the sun is conjunct this black hole and this pulsar, it will be conjunct to the star Markup from 12th to 14th March. And also it will be conjunct to the planet Saturn. So imagine, during these days, a lot of different energies coming down to us. In this case, the planet Saturn is eroded uh, because it is eroded from the cosmic ocean waves of Neptune, because Saturn at the moment will be conjunct with Neptune, although not an exact conjunction, but they both will be conjunct, because Neptune, in this case, washing over Saturn, is a way to help us to dissolve the inner pride, for example, stubbornness also, and the tendency to have a closed mind while being attached to our past or simply to the past. But so is about eroding this ego within as a way to help us to open more and more our minds, our hearts, our consciousness, and in this way give way or open an inner space to anchor more and more our higher self, because the ultimate purpose of Saturn in Pisces is becoming our higher self. And this cosmic presence that we already are, and is about anchoring it in the here and now into every cell of our bodies. During these days, the sun will shine over Saturn, receiving the energy of Markup that I will explain now a little bit more. But the sun will shine over Saturn. It's like, yes, now you can become the higher self, you can become a light to shine within our bodies. And also the sun is about bringing light to the ego within that is needed to be dissolved, that we need to dissolve, to liberate and get free of it and become more and more our true self. While the essence of markup, also, although I explained it a little bit in the video about the QSG Summit, now I will repeat only a little bit, adding more information about the star. So the essence of markup is about sensitivity, giving us knowledge of the spiritual energy that is within and that surrounds us, from this spiritual energy, we can receive spiritual messages that in this case can be more directed to us thanks to the pulsar. So markup helps us to be more open to empathy and sensitivity, not only toward others, but ourselves. Its energy is mostly feminine, that helps us to open an inner gateway to explore more and more our being from empathy and compassion, and in doing that, enabling us to live our life being more sensitive and empathic, understanding better people around and other beings as our pets, for example, and be humble and understanding. This star, encourages us to feel deeply our hearts and express its precious gift in reality empathy, compassion, be humble. And this star is mostly related to the solar plexus and the throat chakra. Here, in a planet surrounding, uh, orbiting the star, live one civilization that is very interesting. They are the Welsh. They are humanoid denoid DNA. They are 7D beings, and they are timekeepers of the galaxy. For me, when I connected to them, or they contacted to me in reality, I felt them as magnetic beings. They barely sleep or eat because they don't need to, with a very powerful sixth sense and a multidimensional mind. They live in a collective consciousness because they don't need individuality as we know it to do their purpose. They have a great knowledge of the vastness and depth that life can reach, and of the magnetic energies and the magnetic lines, how they move, oscillate, evolve accordingly to the consciousness of the civilizations where they are placed, together with the consciousness of the galaxy. So, in reality, uh, they say that magnetic line is not something easy. It's not only a line, as we can say, or because it is related to the consciousness of all beings that live in that in the periphery of that line or magnetic energies, but also together with the energies of the entire galaxy. They are not a space-faring civilization because they don't need to. And they are really busy keeping track, protecting, restoring, if needed, the time spheres of the galaxy because time is not a line. In reality, time is a sphere that when expresses itself into any dimension, it unfolds accordingly to the energies of that dimension, and in particular in the 3D, it unfolds and it seems aligned. And because of that, we always say timelines. But in reality, time is not aligned. It's the way it is projected or the way we live it here in the 3D. But as we evolve and open more our own consciousness, we will experience time differently. Or maybe we are already experience time differently, more timeless, more uh, present, an eternal present, where all coexist simultaneously, for example, more as if we were babies, as babies experience time in this way. So also these beings, the wealth, they keep the time spheres harmonized following the cosmic plans of evolution for the Milky Way and all its beings. And they are here to help us to restore timelines and adjust the new ones that are entering here on Earth. And now we continue with the movement of the Sun through the Pisces sign. So since, one moment, since 12, in reality the 12th of March, the Sun will be conjunct already with Neptune, although their exact conjunction will be on the 19th March 2025. Here we have a picture of Neptune. And then also, while the Sun will be conjunct Neptune, also will be conjunct the star Sheet. In reality, from the 10th to 20th March, when after the 20th March, the spring equinox take place, and the Sun will enter Aries, the sign of Aries, the first sign, of the zodiac, and the new beginning of a new wheel of life. A Sheet is also considered a malefic star, together with an Eve, because it can bring sea accidents and or plane accidents, huge ocean waves, storms, for example, and it is said that its benevolent influence is only for the people that are able to channel its energy from their hearts, to be humble enough to channel its energy from the heart and transform the inner self-sabotage, inner self-destruction that we all have within from all our history, the personal history and the collective history, to transform these energies into a more higher vibrational ones, and to use for not only our higher benefit but also for the higher benefit of all beings. In this way, we can open more ourselves to life instead of being a victim of life, because victim is one of the main archetype or dense archetype, we can say, related to Pisces. So in this way, if we are able to transform this self-sabotage, self-pity also, we can overcome death processes or situations that could lead us to a possible physical, emotional, mental or spiritual death. Although its essence, the essence of a Sheet, can help us to clarify our minds, give us love for the intellect, and the logic, and love for challenging the logic. Also give us discernment, independent thinking, the capacity to break all ways of thinking. But as this star in this year is under the influx of Neptune, also its energy can be in a we can receive its energy under a state of confusion, for example, chaos, or maybe we are within our imagination, our imaginary world, for example, not able to receive this clarity, this capacity of discernment, or this or being able to transform the the self-sabotage into a higher vibrational energy. So, one of the best ways to overcome this confusion, chaos within, that can that Neptune can promote within us, if we are prompt to that, of course. So, one of the best ways to overcome this is aligning our mind with our cosmic mind or with our soul, knowing that we are much more than we think, and that always we can trespass our own limits, go beyond them, and explore new parts of ourselves. This star encourages us to connect with our inner power and don't delegate it to other people or institutions. This star has a powerful masculine energy that doesn't spare us anything to live if it can serve to our evolution and openness of consciousness, similar to an Eve at the beginning. This star also activates our inner light warrior and be the owners of our lives. So here it can bring a powerful inner work. And after that, we can say, for example, this is the trajectory of the sun, counterclockwise. But at the same time, clockwise, there's the movement of the lunar north node that entered Pisces on 12th January of this year, 2025. That it first encountered and still is when I record this video, it is conjunct the star sheet and will be conjunct the star markup from the 14th of May to 24th June 2025. While the sun will be long gone from Pisces even into the summer solstice, because the lunar north node movement is much slower than the sun, because it needs 1 year and a half more or less to transit across one zodiacal sign. And all these energies I explained, these stars, the black holes, the pulsars, all are under the influence of the Pisces energies, of the cosmic waters. They are under the influence of the mother whale and the cetaceans energies, reminding us that we are precious cosmic beings walking here on Earth, that we are part of them because we share one DNA strand. And they remind us that it's important to recover this link, to work together to restore the Earth and live a more organic life accordingly to the natural Earth energies and nature. They remind us that now is time to recover our spiritual being, detach our small mind, our rational mind, of the body matters as a way to free ourselves of preoccupations, frustrations, anger, fears, guilt, and open more our hearts to receive the infinite field of possibilities where reside our desired futures and from which we can create new futures different from any past we have lived until now, including any past lives, while at the same time anchoring more and more our higher self. Remember, as I said before, that Pisces is where our victim is where we tend to recreate ourselves with self-pity. But at the same time, you can see that all of these stars, not only a sheet, but in reality, all others are there, and the black holes, the pulsars, all of them together with the planets, in this case Saturn and Neptune, all of them are focused to help us to overcome that victim within, to overcome this self-sabotage, self-destruction that we have within, fears, together with fears and any other dense emotions, and become more and more ourselves. As we become more and more ourselves, we will be able also to transform not only our personal life, our individual life, but also to transform society. Because we want, at least most of us, want to live in a different kind of society, more human, more compassionate, peaceful, of course. Uh, Trust when you can we can trust people around and institutions, but we only will be able to do that if we begin with ourselves. So we cannot expect that institutions will crumble for themselves if we don't begin with ourselves. So it's very important to take into consideration those energies of the Pisces, that Pisces, the Pisces sign can give to us, and in this way use all these Pisces month from the 18th February until the 20th March to transform ourselves, to anchor more our higher self and our entire cosmic being in the here and now, being more present, and in this way transform the way we perceive and live time, although at the same time we have a daily life to live, but live different with a different perspective of it. So that's it for today. I hope this information is useful for you. Have a lovely day. See you soon.